Good morning. I am riding my Solar Sparrow on a back road in the Cadence setting. And I wanted to pick this section of the road because it has a little bit of a hill, some flats. Doesn't have a lot of bumps, and I don't feel the bumps on this bike because of the suspension post, so this is a good choice. I'm coming to a little steep hill that if I was on a regular bike at my age, I probably could not do it. I shifted down to my fifth gear. Whoops. Gotta pay attention a little better. Okay. That was all rider error, not really focusing. Okay. Back to the eco setting, coming up to another steep little hill. I'm going to change gears down to 4. Move it up to tour for an assist. And I'm still going 10 miles an hour. I find that the Cadence sensor, the bike pedals so much faster than in torque. You can see here's a guy struggling, but he's got a real bike. Unlike me. Morning. I don't really have to worry about that unless I stop paying attention. I also find that because of the gearing now that's been changed by U-Free, I get no ghost pedaling, which I did before in the Cadence, and that is why I changed to torque. The only trouble I find with the Cadence is that it does use a little bit more of the battery, but on a flat section, I mean, I'm cruising. You know, it's 18, 20 miles an hour comfortably. Back on the eco. As far as my gear, it's between 5 and 6. I'll probably go up to 6 because I need more pedal power. Yeah, much nicer. Pause this for a while and come back to you later. Back to coasting down the hill, going 22 miles an hour. I wanted to show you what it was like with the turbo, well, throttle I should say. There I am on the throttle. I pedal along with the throttle, flies up the hill, super quick. Gotta let off the throttle because it'll go too fast and I'll run into Lime Rock Racetrack, which I would love to take the bike on. Okay, we turn around here. This is the church. Makes a nice turnaround. The nice kind of dirt. Doesn't have those itty bitty rocks that make a mess for riding on. Rain's coming. Okay, here we go. Use a little throttle for the takeoff. I always do that. And now we get to go back down the hill I just came back up. And dodge some of the roots / potholes. Okay, I'm hitting 22 miles an hour. And I really don't like to go too much faster than that. Here I'm 25. There we go. Now we get to pedal up. I'm in the 6th gear. I'm going to move it up a notch to tour. There we go. Little bumps here we missed. Too bad. I actually really like the Cadence now, just because the older I get, the harder it is for me, and I feel like I really don't need to work that hard. I get enough so I know my heart rate has gone up, but I'm not killing myself. Don't need to. I bike more for enjoyment, a little pedaling. You can probably hear it as I'm speaking. I'm losing, a little bit of breath, but I'm almost 70, so yes, it's allowed. Well, I better go back down to Eco because I start going too fast. I don't need to go that fast. I might miss the bear or miss the deer. We have turkeys out now. Lots of critters. Turned out to be a gorgeous weekend. I think I'll end up using this bike mainly for rail trails, and in that case, I can just keep it on the lowest setting and cruise along, and I don't need a lot of help. Because there's no elevation. Where I generally bike in the neighborhood, I do have quite a bit of elevations. We have a lot of hills and some very steep ones. The bike has done really good for that. I would probably not choose this bike if I had to do a lot of dirt roads. I kind of like the City Robin better for that because of the front suspension and the seat suspension combined makes it a really nice ride. I love the weight of this bike though. I mean, being that it's 50 pounds, you hardly feel it, and I can actually pedal without an assist if I had to. It's good for trailering it on the back of my little Honda because it's lightweight enough, which is really nice. The thing about these bikes, they all come with lights, which is great because I have a car on my butt right now and it doesn't want to quite pass, so I am going to end up pulling up over the hill here and let him go by. Not that hard to be nice to drivers. They might start to like us. Okay, we're going to pause you again. Okay, I'm back at the other section of back roads that I enjoy. one thing I want to stress with people as far as riding in Cadence or riding in torque. This is your ride. You should be the one making the choice as to what is the most enjoyable ride for you. Now, I keep saying, I'm old. I'm 69 years old, or just a month away, and I'm not out to impress anyone and say, oh, I ride in torque and I only ride on eco. I'm a tough old bird. It's not necessary. You ride how you want to ride. There's nobody coming along that's going to say, oh, you suck because you're a cheater and you ride an e-bike. Who cares? The fact that you're out, you're in the fresh air, you get to see the chippy run in front of you or the deer on the side of the road, the little flock of turkeys. Even once in a while, I get to see a bear. That's fun. That's so much better than sitting in front of the TV or even walking, because we can go so much quicker. And that's the one thing I like about the Cadence sensor, is that I can go faster. You can hear the motor. I just hit the throttle to get up this little round blind corner. This is the road that takes you to West Cornwall, which is the covered bridge, which is gorgeous and fun. But I won't be going that far today. This also is the road that goes up to Music Mountain, which is the oldest concert hall, I believe. Could be the U.S., but maybe just Connecticut. I'm not sure on that. But it's beautiful up there. It's on the top of the mountain. Obviously, that's why it's called Music Mountain. When I first started making draperies, they had a show house there, and they took all the little cottages, and the decorators did them all up fancy. It was a lot of fun, especially when I was just starting my business. So that is, gosh, almost 40 years ago. Long time. That's why you got to be happy when you ride at my age. And that, I think, is one thing about this Sparrow. It's a great bike for a senior and a woman because it's light, it's easy to handle, the belt is even easier, you don't even have to clean the chain. It's perfect for someone who really doesn't want to have to worry about anything. And how fast do we need to go? Going underneath these scary trees with a car coming, yay. Go. Okay, I'm going to shut you off again. What is that? I actually have to cross over quite a few little railroad tracks, and I just find the easiest is to stand slightly, and it is quite comfortable that way. I always find it's funny how they do the Eco, Tour, Sport, Turbo. I always think it should be walk, trot, canter, gallop, being a horse person. Just seems like that would make so much more sense. But who am I? A retired person who just enjoys biking almost daily. I'm going to stop up here at this little farm stand. my friend here, Jim, gives away some of his extra produce. The other day I got some great zucchini. So here we go, see what he's got. Okay, I'm back. One other nice thing about this bike and all of the U-Free bikes is that you can set it to whatever class you want, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. I personally love the 2 because I would never ride without a throttle. It has saved me many times. You just need that little boost to get across the road. If you get yourself going too close to the edge, you need to get away. Just so many things that are really kind of fall saving. Makes a difference. We're going to head into the town of Falls Village, the center. We are having a historical festival today. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to show up for this. Yeah, it's a little busier. Oh, look, there's a period lady all dressed up.
Here, let's walk on the sidewalk.
A few people. Horse and buggy. We'll be careful about going by them. We don't want to spook them. And there's another woman. Hi, Judy. How are you?